Welcome to Recipe to Success, the show where we sit down with entrepreneurs from all different backgrounds to learn more about their journey to success. My name is Humza Zahoor, CEO and founder of Social Awaken. I hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to another episode of Recipe to Success. This one's a little bit different and I think you guys are going to love it. So let's go straight into it. Margs, how you doing?
Well, bro, you good?
I'm good, bro. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me, man.
Yeah, this one, I know people are going to be intrigued with this one because obviously we were speaking off camera, we see a lot of Margs. We see Margs a little bit of everywhere. I mean, I do anyway. Yeah. Maybe there's some people that are watching that maybe have never seen you before, which is going to be interesting. But so I think this side is going to be a little bit unique, even though you're going to keep it raw anyway. But
yeah, no, all I do is keep it raw.
Yeah, 100%. So for anyone,
I don't know if I got the recipe for success though. That's what. Even when you hit me up and I said it, I was like, boy, I don't know if I'm successful.
No, I think you know what it is for me. Recipe to Success is a platform where people can get inspired and I know there's a lot of people that look up to you. I've been watching you since I was young. Yeah. So I know that along the journey, there's definitely going to be a lot of people that know you, that look up to you, and that are going to be interested. How did you go from there to there? Different kind of parts of your life. Okay. So for anyone that doesn't know who you are, anyone that's living under a rock, how would you explain what you do and who you are?
What now? Where
now,
am I in
just
my life now?
Yeah, what you're known for generally.
Boy, I'm a triple threat. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm a rapper / podcaster / all-round just wonderful individual. You get what I'm trying to say? I create content, I produce shows, I got my own stuff that I make as well. So yeah, I'm just in the entertainment media industry, just trying to find my way in it. But I do bare different things. I wouldn't even know how to describe myself now. Before I would just say yeah, I'm a rapper. But obviously because I've been transitioning to doing other things, I don't even know what the proper tag is. What would you describe it as?
Just an overall creative, I think.
Yes, yeah, I'm a creative. I'm a content creator. I like that one.
Yeah, content creator.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is that what I love about your persona online is that there's everything is just real, number one. Number two, you've adapted into everything so well. So you've done the rapping thing, and that's you've cemented your legacy in that industry. And then you've gone on, done podcasting, and now you're getting calls from every show. Yeah. So it's a testament to what you bring to the table, I think.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Obviously, you could just be yourself, innit? You know what I'm saying?
It works. Sometimes it takes a bit longer, but you get there when you're just yourself.
Yeah. Because that way you ain't gonna mess up, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? If you've got a persona or whatever it may be, and it's an image that you're putting on for people, there'll be times when you want to have a day off, or times where you forget yourself or whatever. If every time I jump on the camera, I'm just being myself, I don't even have to work hard at it. You know what I'm trying to say? And then that way you just put yourself out there. And whoever likes me, and who don't. It's easy. If you don't like what I'm doing, you just don't subscribe to it. You just don't tune into it. Don't watch it when you see me on the shows or whatever it may be. If you like me, you rock with me. You know what I'm saying? And that way it's just easy. You just put yourself out there and then just take the rough with the smooth. Come on, mate, you get me? So.
The one thing that connects everything together is you doing your own thing, and that you're self-employed, and that you are an entrepreneur, whether you see it that way or not. Because essentially you don't really answer to anyone else. You're doing your own thing, and you've built it from ground up. So let's go to the very start, where it all begun.
Way back.
Baby Margs.
Baby.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the upbringing, and then we can go into how you eased into rap. But I want to know because the reason why I ask about the upbringing is because I think it's interesting to see when people have grown up and done certain things, there's certain things that you look at their upbringing and think, okay, that makes sense, that's why maybe they led to that direction. So just growing up in Mashtown, what was that like?
Well, it wasn't called Mashtown when we was growing up in it. It was just Hackney, innit? It was just Hackney, London Fields, wherever I was from. For me, it was different because we grew up in an area that was just the man was just well known in that. You know what I'm trying to say? My older brother, all these lot were well known. They was involved in various activities that made them be notorious for one reason or the other. You know what I'm trying to say? So I've always kind of been known growing up in the area. You get me? But it's just a normal upbringing, man. Growing up on the estates, just playing with my brethren and that, just going to school. Just doing normal things, you get what I'm trying to say? Obviously, my mum wasn't with my dad like that, so she just raised us by herself and that, you get me? And it was but it was weird because I always had a connection to the streets, through my brother. My brother went to jail when he was young. a few of them went jail for something kind of serious from when he was like about 16 or something like that. It's like his whole teenage years he was in jail. So I've always had that connection. People see me, they know me. Oh yeah, you're my man's brother and whatever. So I've always been like deeply rooted into like the streets and stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Like through no choice of my own, like just the way it was. And then my brother died when I was young as well.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. So that kind of even pushed me into the streets even more. Like I was there anyway. It's just a natural thing. What we grew up in is just what we know. But maybe like that kind of stuff probably made me make choices that I probably wouldn't have made.
How old were you when your brother died?
15.
Okay.
Yeah.
That must have affected you a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I think it just made me go more off the rails more and dig deeper into different things that, like I said, I've always been exposed to, but whether I would have made the exact choices that I made at the time, I'm not sure, like to delve so deep into certain things, you know what I'm trying to say. But everything happens for a reason, I guess. That's what they like to say. And that probably helped with my whole rapping and stuff, my material for rapping, because I started rapping a few years later. I was probably about 17 when I really started taking rap seriously, I think.
What was your inspiration? Because at that time, the scene was nothing compared to what it is now.
Well, there weren't really no scene, to be honest with you.
There was a few rappers, like...
We didn't listen to them.
No?
No, we didn't care about them, we didn't know about them. We never
And you came in with something different, like a different, even different way of spitting, like the accent that you guys are notorious for.
Because it was original, innit? Obviously, we're from East London, we got a bit of a Cockney accent and all that, but we wanted to be ourselves, innit? Because obviously, like I'm saying, there was guys that rapped before them, but we never listened to them. I could tell you a few of them. I know who they are, like the Roots Manoeuvres, Rodney P's, Skinny Mans, that kind of generation. They never made music for us. We weren't listening to them like at all, not in our spare time.
This was before grime, right? Or like during?
It was during grime, because I remember some of my friends telling me like, "Wow, why would you want to rap for? Like grime's popping, like do the grime thing." You know what I'm trying to say? I started playing around with like that kind of MCing thing, and a few of the old boys from the estate pulled me to one side and was like, "Don't you dare do none of that crap." Like, if you're gonna rap, like do it properly, like do the hip hop stuff, like what we would listen to, like the American man, all the old heads, the DMXs, the Locks.
That was the only inspiration you could have at that time, really.
Jay-Z, Biggie, whatever. Like they're the only. You get what I'm trying to say? They're the only people that you could look up to that was doing something. But it's like we're listening to these man rap, and everything that they're talking about is our life. Like they talk about like how we live, the things you see in movies and the things you hear in the rap songs is how we're living from day to day, is the things that we're actually really doing. So it's like, why can't we talk about it? You know what I'm trying to say? Like we need something to represent us. That's the way I was thinking when I got into it. And obviously the internet and all that weren't even a thing like that, so the world was smaller than it is now. When it's so big online, everybody's all connected and you know what's going on in north, south, east, west. I couldn't tell you who was rapping in north, south and east, west. Like a little later when they started making DVDs and stuff and you started branching out and these things, then cool. But at the time when I started rapping, I couldn't tell you who was rapping in South London. Like English boys doing what I'm doing from the Estates and all that, you know what I'm trying to say. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm like first generation. I never had no one to look up to apart from American rappers, really. You get me? But I'm saying I want to put my own spin on it, do my own thing. And it was only through me like trying and spitting to my friends and shit and seeing the reaction that they get that made me say, okay, cool, I could do this. You get me? Because I weren't sure, I don't know. I don't really, like, there's nothing to compare it to. Like, I don't think I'm as good as Jay-Z, or I do, but I don't, if that makes sense. Like, it's hard to just come out as a kid and be rapping and say, oh yeah, I'm Jay-Z or whatever. But I'm saying they're who you aspire to be like, and all that stuff, you know what I'm trying to say? So I don't know what's good and what's not. I just know that every time I spit, these men go crazy. So I'm like, all right, cool, I must be onto something. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, let me just do my thing. So
I think it was unique because whilst you had the American rappers that you could look up to in a certain way, it was still completely different to the UK scene, and you almost had to like break down the walls for people to hear you and to pave the way for people that have come along now. So what kept you going, like in terms of when you drop in new music? Did you ever feel like, when is my time gonna come?
Yeah, but that was later. The first few years of it, I was just enjoying it. Just
as a hobby?
Yeah, just enjoying it as a hobby, just doing something new, enjoying the fame of it. You know what I'm trying to say? Because even though weren't like getting like money that was gonna change our life or anything like that, or there was no industry to speak of, we was we was popular, like super popular, and it created like a new wave and a new lane. Like back then, for man to be out and be more popular than the road man, like the trap stars, these men are notorious. Like everybody knows them. Like these men are hood stars. They're famous in their own right for whatever they'd be doing, innit? And for man to come along and be more popular than them, just for making music, is mad. Like it was different. You know what I'm trying to say? That. So you buzz off that stuff. Like you buzz off it. People putting you on a pedestal. People treating you differently. People playing your music. Driving down the road, seeing people play my music. Going on the radio, hearing people play my music. People coming up to man all the time and whatnot. Like you buzz off that, innit? And it's something so new and so fresh that we're just spitting. We don't even really know what
you
doing.
You didn't take it in? Like when you had those moments, did you not feel like, wow, like they're listening to me?
Nah, maybe a little later in my thing, like maybe like after I done like the Westwood and stuff like that, and I would travel the country and go places and go Liverpool, go Manchester, go Birmingham. People stop me and they know who I am. Then it's like, rah, I've been traveling. I go all across the world. I've been stopped in nearly any country I've ever been in.
No way.
Yeah, obviously it's by English people. If it was by the natives, that would probably be a bit more better. But it just goes to show like your reach, innit?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you see them things and it hits you, you're like, rah, these people really listen to man. Like I'm actually like I'm proper popular. It's mad. But at the time when you're in it, you don't really get a chance to do that because you are just going and then you're competing. Man, then once the internet came in and the YouTube, after them DVDs, there's man from the south, there's man from north, there's man from west, they're all doing these things, and it's just like a rat race. You're all competing in it. He dropped a song, you got a mixtape, he's doing this, alright, cool, I need to make sure I do something, and because you're vying for that top spot.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just working, you're just going, and you don't really know what the dream is to say like, oh yeah. The way things are now, I can't say that I was rapping music and making music and rapping and saying like, this is the goal, this is what we want to achieve. It's something that's just happened.
You were just living in the moment.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's sick to see where it's come to now. To see that like these young boys can change their lives, change their families' lives, make a living for themselves, and take themselves up off the streets making music, and they are superstars. You get what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, that's dope.
The one thing about music, I think, at that time was that, like now, for example, you listen to a song or you listen to an album. I mean, I should be saying this to you because you're the music critic now. That's the word, isn't it? T is critic.
Yeah, come on.
But music now, like it's gone. It's here today, gone tomorrow. Like you listen to it, next week comes another album drops, and it's just so saturated, and the time lapse of it is just.
Yeah,
it's on
a quick cycle. It's like
exactly.
Week to week almost.
Whereas at that time, it was like you would appreciate it a little bit more, and you would listen to something, even if it had been like 6 months, you're still listening to the same music. So it was like a different time. And where I'm going with this is that with the Westwood moment, I'm guessing that was a defining moment, and that was something that had been spoken about for a while, even after you had done it. So how did that come about?
The Westwood, we got onto Westwood. I said it before when I said it on the one poll show. I think Giggs hooked up Hypo with Westwood, introduced him, connected the dots or whatever, and said, "Yeah, we can come up." So then Hypo hit me up and he was like, "Oh yeah, we got a Westwood show. We got a Team Westwood show." So I'm gassed. You know what I'm saying? Because by that point, I'd been rapping for years. By that point, I'd gone to prison and back and everything. Like by that point, you know what I'm trying to say? Like I was fairly established, but I still never really had those opportunities in the mainstream. So this was like the biggest opportunity that I've had to date as far as I was concerned. You get me? Mm-hmm. So I was just like, nah, I'm gonna smoke this. So I just went and got prepped, got ready, and like just done my thing. It's mad because even though you can prepare for something, and like I done that on purpose, and the frame of mind that I was in was that I'm gonna go on something that nearly damn near everybody's gonna watch, and when they see this, they're gonna say he's the best. That was my aim. That anybody that watches this and listens to what I go and do here, they're gonna have to say that I'm the best, basically. You know what I'm saying? So even though that was my energy and that's what I went into it with, I'm still surprised. I know it sounds stupid, like, but I'm still surprised by the impact that it made and that it's had, so that people still say to talk to me about it still now to date. You know what I'm trying to say? Like people talk about it from them listening to it growing up and talk about that it's legendary and whatever it may be. So it's mad because, like I'm saying, even though I prepared for it, I'm still shocked at what it actually done. But yeah, no, that Westwood was cold.
Did you always have self-belief, like, because you said that you wanted to go in there and be the best, and I think you carried that over to now, but was that always the case? You always had belief in yourself?
Yeah, I always thought I was the coldest.
Why?
Because I am the you get me? Not because I'm dope, and I feel like sometimes people just don't get it, or they just miss it. Some things get lost in translation or something. I mean, I don't know what it is, because it's I feel like there's like a disconnect there to a certain extent. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, maybe I could do better when I'm making actual songs.
You're basically your favourite rapper's favourite rapper.
Yeah,
because
try to be.
People appreciate that, wow, this guy actually has so much talent.
Yeah. When I do freestyle, but like I said, maybe I could do better at making songs, but when I'm freestyling, when I'm standing up on a mic with a beat running, I believe in my head that I'm the best. Like, best. Like, I don't think there's not a lot of people that can stand shoulder to shoulder with me and rap with me. Like, if I don't want them to. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That
if you're in the mood.
Yeah, if I'm in the right mood, like, I'm gonna go crazy, and that self-belief is something that I've always had, like, from the beginning, just from, because like sometimes I do stuff and I don't think it's good, and then my friends are going crazy for it. I've got a lot of songs that I put out on mixtapes and stuff that I wasn't sure about, and man told me, yeah, do it, and I put it out and people love it. So then I was like, right, why are you even doubting yourself for? Like, anything you do, they're gonna you're just cold naturally, like, this is just what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Gifted.
Yeah, so you just start to embrace it, you know what I'm trying to say, and that's just how I feel. But I feel like rap's like a competitive sport, innit? And I feel like if you don't feel like that, I don't even know why you do it. But I feel like every rapper should think that they're the best.
But there's some people that have the moments in their life, not just rappers, but they have moments where they believe in themselves, but at the same time, when things are not progressing as quick as they want it to be, especially, I would say even more so in today's generation, because of social media and being exposed to everything, it's like they have moments of doubt where, okay, am I really that good? If I was really that good, maybe things would have been, and they almost sabotage their own journey. That's why I wanted to kind of see your take on it.
I'm conceited. I don't never think, am I really that good? I just think these that don't get it, if that's the case. I just think these that don't get it. And people always forget. I don't even know how I managed to stay relevant. I went through a period of time where I never released music for 7 years, like back in the day as well. Like, not even like now, like back then when I was kind of in the mix of everything, when it was growing, when I was fairly popular, and I just stopped releasing music, stopped making it, done a few features for a few people here and there, but I never released none of my own stuff for like 7 whole years. And that was probably due to, like, what you're talking about, just like not getting certain opportunities, doors closing, and I'm just thinking, is this like even worth it to keep going on and keep doing it? Remember, you gotta understand, at the same time when I'm doing it, like, man are running around in the streets like I'm like, we're bait, I'm well known, I'm like susceptible to all kinds of things, and I'm saying like, me being this popular and being this well known it's not safe, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if they're not gonna give me life-changing money for me to take myself out of these situations that I'm in, why am I doing all this stuff for? Everywhere I go, people know me. Like, this ain't, and it's not like,
it's funny, like, the perception, people think, oh, he's made it, but in your head you're like, I've still got a long way to go, I'm just bait, almost.
Yeah,
at that
I'm
point.
just bait, yeah. No matter what's going on, no matter what kind of popularity man's got, no matter how people see me or whatever, I haven't made nothing. I haven't made it. I've never made it. I've never got to the heights of that I've wanted to, that I set for myself out, or whatever, that I thought I was going to be able to reach and attain. I never got to those heights. You know what I'm saying? So I never felt like I've made it. Like, even me now with me doing this stuff, like, I don't feel like I'm successful. I'm on a path and on a journey. Like, I haven't done anything yet. That's but
that mentality keeps you hungry, keeps you consistent, because from an outside perspective, there's a lot of people that will look at you and think, okay, he not only, like, has he done different things, but he's been consistent at anything he's done. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, you didn't come into podcasting, do a couple of episodes and then go away. No. Like, you almost have this belief where once you do something, you're going to try and be the best at it.
Yeah.
Which is like a belief system that I think everyone should try to learn from.
Yeah, it's like, for me, I don't like doing things I don't believe in. You know what I'm trying to say? So if there's something that I believe in, there's nothing stopping me from going full steam ahead. You know what I'm trying to say? That's why even when I was getting into the podcast stuff and all that, I had to wait for it to be right, because I wasn't sure. And then the second I came up with something that I believed in, it's just one track mind. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just tunnel vision. Like, I just don't see nothing else, and I don't need outside influences to help me or to tell me what I know. You know what I'm trying to say? And that gives me that it makes me be able to stay on this path. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, regardless of whether things get as big as you want them to, or slow down, or have dips and whatever it may be. I know with consistency, if you keep doing something, where you should get to your destination. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm the plan that I put together for myself is a few years. Anything that comes before that is a bonus. I've only been doing the podcasting stuff for 10, 11 months. New, fresh. You know what I'm trying to say? That. So there's nothing that's going to happen within that space of time that's going to knock me up. I'm not going to get up too high. I'm not going to get down too low, because I'm focused and I'm on a path. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and like I said, I've set myself out a few years to get to where I need to. If 2-3 years pass and then I'm not where I want it to be, then you have to reevaluate and look at things like that. But before then, there's nothing to worry about. Just steadfast, you get me? Just focus and just keep grinding. Yeah, just tunnel vision, just keep grinding, and you should get to where you want to. I mean, I know like life don't always work like that, because like I said, it didn't for the music, but even then it's a weird one, because I never had like I said, I never really had the success that I wanted. But
it depends on what your goal was, because what I would say is you left a legacy, even though you haven't stopped. I mean, you could still rap anytime, but you left such a legacy that I think the reason why maybe the podcasting journey has happened quite quickly now, in terms of you being in different places at the right time, is because of that respect of, wow, Margs did a lot for the scene. He was a special talent, and without that journey, maybe the podcasting would have never come, or maybe it wouldn't have been that quick.
Well, one thing is, I get what you're saying, 'cause I never started from scratch, innit? I had a platform there, but so from all the work that I've done beforehand, I had platforms. I had got followers on all my different social media platforms, or whatever it may be. So it's not like I've just jumped in at the bottom from nothing, which loads of people are trying to do, which I can understand why it would be harder. But I mean, at the same time, like, it was still a risk. It wasn't guaranteed that
it was different, completely different to what you were doing.
It's a totally different ballgame to what I know in it, and it's not a guarantee that it was going to work. It's not a guarantee that you put yourself out there and people are going to like you. This is totally different to music as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, people are listening to you talk for so long. Like I said, I just have to put myself out there, innit? It's not no facades or nothing like that. So the more you talk, the more people get to know you. You're putting yourself out there. Not everybody likes you. You're going to get negative comments. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so it's just like, it's totally different. You have to be in a different mind space. It's mad, the podcast world, but I like it. I enjoy it.
One thing I want to know before we go too deep in the podcast and stuff, is you were doing rap and you were still affiliated in the streets. And one of the things that I think would benefit a lot of people is, how did you break out of that? Because there was a lot going on. It was all you knew almost. And you also becoming quite big in the area, because not just in the area, in the UK, because people had known you by the time Westwood had come. But your reality still hadn't changed. So what was that like? And what would you advise young people going through something similar right now?
I don't even know. I don't even know what to say, because I don't even know what the turning point would have been for me. Like, it's just knockbacks and just going through things, going to prison, like at a time when I was popping. I didn't do too long, but I came in and out, and then like I've been shot, stabbed, like all of these things. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and it's just like, after a while, because I've been through so much in my life, and I've seen so much, and I've lost so much. I look at things from a different perspective. You get what I'm trying to say? So when you're young, you got a different kind of energy. It's hard to speak to young people. When you're young, you don't necessarily think about your future. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, you just think you've got your whole life ahead of you, and you're not on that side of the hill yet where it's rolling down. You're
focused on the now.
Left. You're just focused on the now. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So when I was focused on the now, it was easy. But then you're getting older as I'm going through all these things, and then I start asking myself questions like, well, what do I really want out of this? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like the streets and the music thing, sometimes they go hand in hand, but then I started getting to a point where I'm saying, like, it's not gonna work. I have to be prepared to make sacrifices, and if I just choose to stay in the streets, that's just where I'm gonna end up. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and I had to make a choice to leave it alone. Like, regardless of music, or don't know, podcasts and that stuff won't even a thing then, but regardless of whether I make it in the music industry, I'm saying, like, just just for the sake of my life, innit? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's certain things that you have to leave alone, and some people just don't care, or some people probably ain't got opportunity to do other things, and they're just stuck where they're stuck, and there's no different path for them. But I've never really felt like that for myself. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if I want to, I can just go knee deep into the streets and just whatever I've experienced it. I've done everything. I know all about that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and I just don't hold no substance to it. I've got a lot of friends that are in jail for life. Their life's gone, 30 years. Have like bury them. Like, I couldn't even count on 2 hands. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they are doing serious jail time that I'm still in contact with, that I speak to, and it's just like the whole glare of everything started to rub off, and it was just like, this ain't shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's really is more to life than all this crap that we're doing. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you think it matters, but it don't matter, and you only get one go at it. And that's, I don't know how things just started to fall into place to where I just started looking at things with a bit of clarity, and I was just like, I don't really want to do that no more. And I never thought I'd feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially like when you're younger and you're out here, you're doing what you're doing. Like, it is what it is. Like, you don't give a shit about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, gang shit. Just it is like whatever. But like, I'm an honest person, and I'm honest to myself as well. I don't really like lying to myself. So when I'm in it and I'm knee deep in things, I'm doing what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. This is where my head's at. Once I start thinking different, it's like, okay, I have to acknowledge this. I can't just pretend. Don't want to be out there pretending to be something I'm not. Then I get myself in trouble, and then I'm the only person to blame. It's going to be hard. I need to, if my heart ain't totally in this, then I need to start taking myself out of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say?
But you know, you went through a lot of pain in terms of losing your brother, or just day-to-day things that you went through, being shot, being stabbed. How did you always pick yourself back up? Because now, the Margs that we know now is always smiling, is always chilled, is always relaxed, laid back.
I was always like that.
So did you never like have moments where you just felt like, I hate life?
Like little fleeting ones, like not long, because life don't stop. And I learned that from losing people young, from, I don't know, just, yeah, like even if you could start just like say this for my brother and that. I understand that just life goes on. I've been in certain situations where I've been sitting there and had like out of body experiences, and you realise like life goes on. It's always in traffic. Say like in a funeral procession, driving to the cemetery to go and bury my brother, or in a funeral procession, I'm in the funeral cars, innit? And I'm sitting down, I'm in the car, and I'm suited and booted, churched up, and you look on the street and everybody's just walking. They don't feel like how you feel. Everybody's fine. Going to work, going to school.
It's crazy, like the world doesn't stop.
The world don't stop for you. Like literally, like they don't care. And it's no fault of theirs, they don't know you. They don't care. You know what I'm trying to say? The world just keeps going. Same on going to prison, sitting in that circle van, and I'm in the van, and I'm there driving down the high road, going to the thing. You look out the window, and everybody's just walking. It's just not stopping. It's just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Everybody's doing what they got to do. I can't even do nothing now. I'm going to prison. My life's going to be on pause. But everybody else is. The world does not stop for no one, and it's not going to stop for you, regardless of how you feel. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and if you let it beat you, it will beat you. Because if you can, people can be depressed and all of these kind of things and down in the dumps. And if you just try to stop living, life's going to pass you by. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and you're going to end up in a position that you just don't want to be in, and you can't really afford. You can't. No one can. If you just don't care about life. If you just want to give up and not think, then you might as well just not be here. Then that's probably how you get stuff like suicide and these kind of things. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's like, if you want to keep living and live your life and have a future, you have to carry on. There's no choice. Like, the choice is made for you. It's pretty easy. Do I want to give up? Nah. And when I say give up, it's not like give up my music career. It's like give up everything. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like literally just give up everything. Or do you want to keep going? We've got no choice. Mm-hmm. Like, we have to keep going.
But do you think, like, because when you were growing up, like, there was less exposure to everyone else. Like, you know, now the kids growing up, all they see is social media. They live in social media, and they see people winning, apparently, like so-called winning, constantly 24/7, and the expectation of them having to win is even more, and that's why you have more depression and suicide and things like that. Okay, so for you growing up, do you think if you were to grow up now, it would have been a completely different ballgame? Yeah,
it would probably be different if I was to grow up in this generation. I mean, I don't know how I'd be, but I grew up in a special set of circumstances. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, my life, the stuff that I saw
was unique.
Yeah, in my everyday life. Like, literally, like, so these men are teenagers, 18, 19s, and they're bringing in like thousands of pounds a day, like these men are like, people are dying, doing all this different stuff. So it's like a movie lifestyle. It's not like the stuff that I grew up to that I would just take as normality. It's not normal for everybody else. But I don't realise that until I get older and branch out and reach out and see how different people have lived and understand that not everybody grew up like this. So the things that I saw affected, man. I wouldn't have known no different. You know what I'm trying to say?
It was normal to you.
Yeah, it was just normal to me. Like just the way man's grew up, being on the other side of things, just like it's just normal. Like just being on the wrong side of the tracks, just like a criminal and whatever like that. It's just like it's not even a bad thing. If that makes sense. There's nothing to differentiate it with. It's not like, oh yeah, they're 9 to 5 and the thing. Your whole environment, like everybody is doing the same things. Like everyone. You get what I'm saying? So you don't even realise it. That I never had no aspirations to do other things because I never had those kind of role models. I never had those kind of
mentors. Yeah,
and that it just wasn't there to look at, to say like a guy, oh yeah, he's working 9 to 5 or they're studying and whatever. Like they just weren't there for me. You know what I'm saying? So if I grew up in this day and age, I don't know what my mindset would be like. But obviously I can't really speak for these kids. The social media is a powerful tool, innit? And people tend to use it for the wrong reasons. I'm just gonna say, because people think like it's bad. It's not bad. You can install whatever you want to install. You're gonna follow whoever you want to. Do you know what I'm trying to say? If you just want to follow positive people and positive things and sensible things and stuff, that's all you're gonna see. That's all you're gonna be.
Yeah, you control it.
You control it, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of people just like use it for the wrong things, and they go and they feed themselves with the wrong things. So then that's why you're in this position. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know whether I would buy into all that stuff, because sometimes I'd have phases where I'd just go off social media for ages, not posting, not whatever, and not even really caring. And it's hard, obviously, now because I'm doing stuff I've got to be present all the time. And there's sometimes where I just don't want to be, because I just don't want to take in none of that, whatever it may be, crap, negative stuff.
But you know how to separate yourself because you've seen life, I think, before and after. Like, I have that as well, because I also saw life before social media, and I think we have something that is quite unique, which is we know how to separate ourselves from
the social media,
from what's real and what's not. And I think that's something that nowadays is quite difficult, because their real life is not this, it's their phones.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's why it's a little bit of a different thing. But in terms of after having that realization that, okay, you know what, I'm going to leave the streets behind, I've done what I needed to do, now I'm going to kind of go in a more positive light. What happened then?
Then it was like, that period of my life is just like a struggle, because like financially and that, and just not having no real direction of what I want to do and where I'm going to go, but just knowing that I'm not going to fall back into the same old routines of doing those things. That's like,
this was before Pen Game, right?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, before Pen Game, and like just trying to knock it all on the head and just trying to blend in back into society and just be a normal person and not be popular and not be Margs and just come off social media. When I say come off, I never like deleted my stuff or nothing like that, but I wasn't an active person. I just got them there, just whatever, not getting a lot of likes or follows or any of these things, just bubbling along, just through my normal popularity.
Would you say you were demotivated at that time?
Yeah, demotivated to make music, because also as well, my music's got it's a certain kind of music. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like my art imitates my life, innit? So when I'm living a certain way, I can say certain things and do certain things, and it's easier for me. You know what I'm trying to say? Because that was never about just making music. That's just about telling you what we're doing or how my day's going. Or do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
it's like therapy.
Yeah, just talking to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when I'm not doing those things, it's like, right, what am I going to talk about? I don't want to talk about this, like how I'm living at the moment. That's boring. No one don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Whether maybe I could have been wrong. People might have, but I just wouldn't even know how to articulate it. I like the road music, the aggressive style of it, all that kind of. I like it in it. That's what I buzz off. That's what I enjoy doing. So when I couldn't do it anymore, there was a lack of motivation. Do you get what I'm saying?
And then fast forward, you broke the internet and the new generation with the Pen Game challenge. So how did that come about from that demotivated place?
Wiley called me out to Greece. I was in Greece with
I think
Wiley.
everyone's got a Wiley story.
Yeah, Wiley's my guy.
That's one thing I've noticed.
No, Wiley's actually my guy. I can't remember what I was doing. He called me out to Greece, and it was just like, and he's someone that's just always on my back, like always on my back for music, like always drumming it into my head, like you're good. And I was like, I don't need you to tell me that. Like, I know, like it's not my fault, brother. But he's like, and he's always like, you need to get. He's someone that's like, you need to get your 40 acres. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you need to get paid off of music. Like, they need to pay you. You deserve. You're one person. You deserve it. You get me? If you're not making it, how are you gonna get to where you need to get to? Like, you need to make music. Like, you have to, kind of thing. And he was just on me in that time when I was out there in Greece, and he was just on my back all week and stuff. And it's just like, if someone's always like someone that you look up to, that you respect as well, like they tell you something, after a while you have to think like, you know what, maybe these men are, maybe he's right. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, maybe I could do that. And then my boy Cheds, get me, R.I.P. rest his soul. Once I started making music again, while like, there was a little period I'm making music again, and then like, but I'm still just like, it's half-hearted. Like, I'm recording, but I've not got no real direction of what I'm doing. I'm not like, I'm just pussyfooting around really. And then Cheds was like, "No, come, I want to be on board with what you're doing. Like, I want to manage you. Like, I see, like, you're just out here, like, you've not really got no direction and stuff like that. But you're still cold. Like, I think you're dope. You get me? Like, and we just need to, like, if you want, like, if this is what you want, this is what you want to do. Like, we just need to make a proper go at it. Like, we need to do it properly. Do you get what I'm trying to say?" So he was like, "Come, like, let's just go." So he helped me start to put together a mixtape and that, helped me start rapping again and stuff. And then I was just working, just rapping. And then he passed away. Yeah, he passed away because when I dropped Pen Game in January, he passed away in November. You get me? He just got ill, like natural causes or something. He just passed away. It was like fucked up. And then that made me say like I was making a mixtape and stuff, like that journey, that process that I was in there. Like, I have to finish it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to do this.
But when you were in the studio and stuff, working on that kind of that work, did you realize like what it was gonna do? Because obviously it was almost like a new generation had come about. I think that was when the platforms had started becoming big, like Link Up, GRM.
No, it's like, you never know, because obviously my thing's weird, isn't it? Because I'm always popular and I'm always well known and whatever. Like, I still am who I am in it, but like, I might put music out, but it don't connect to the masses. Whereas there's still loads of people that like it, and it still does decent amount of views compared to some people. But the industries are heaving now, innit? So there's guys that's doing stupid numbers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, even if I got like 100,000 views or something like that, back in the day, that might have been cool. But these kids are getting 2 million, 3 million, 4 million views on their stuff. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So if there's that much of the share market around, if there is 5 million views to go on this video and I'm only getting 100,000, something's missing here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's a disconnect. I'm not connecting because like the audience has grown now. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not like there's not just 1 million people in this room. There's 20 million people in this room. You know what I'm trying to say? When I decide to come back, I only know like 1 million of them. I need to find a way to connect to these other 19 million, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know how I was going to do it. I never made a plan to do it like that, really. When I made the Pen Game, I just thought this was cold. Like, I thought this was dope, and I was supposed to put it out. I was supposed to put it out with Wiley, actually. And he was, I don't know what he was doing. He left the country. He was just messing me around and stuff. And like, I needed to get shot. We were supposed to get the video shot and stuff like that. But like I said, he was messing me around, and I just wanted it out. And I had like £700, £800 to my name, like literally, like, and I just spent all my last money on shooting the video and putting the song together. So like, just everything I had, because I just said this. When I was spitting it, I was just like, this is cold.
You took the risk.
Yeah, I was like, it's been, like I said, it's been a while. I'm dropping things here and there, but I'm saying like, they need to hear me do this. This is serious. This is a good representation of me. I want this out on the streets now. You know what I'm saying? So I done that, got it shot, and then I released it. And when I released it, it was doing better than everything I had done in the past. So I'm not saying that it weren't flying, because it probably still ain't got 1 million views now. But it wasn't like so I'm saying it weren't flying like the rest of them and this stuff. But I'm saying,
for your journey, it was
for my journey, for where I was going, I can gauge just the interactions on the video, the comments, whatever. People hitting me up and telling me about it. Like, this was better than everything. Like, this was a thing. You get me? It was bubbling along. And then I was sitting down with someone, we was bouncing out a few ideas and all that around about the song, about what we could do, because they were just saying like, there's something here, we just need to do something to take it to like a next level kind of thing, you get me? And then we came up with the idea of setting a challenge, and then I weren't really on it because, like I said, just of that whole disconnect. It's like one of my biggest fears. Like I don't like embarrassment and stuff like that, and I would have hated to say, "Oh yeah, come guys, we're dropping a challenge," and then like it's like, and
no one's done it.
No one's doing it, and it's just like an idiot thing. Because once you start, I got to front it out, and I got to see it anyway. But I would in my head, I would know this is dead. You know what I'm trying to say? Like this is dead. But they convinced me to do it, and I'm just like, fuck it, let's go. You get me? Like, and then one of my other one guy that I know that raps from the hood, like he just sent me a voice note saying, "Oh, you think you're cold, innit? Like you're not even hard. You need to give me that beat. I'll mash it up. I'll show you how to do it properly." And he said it, and I was just like, "What? Are you a psycho?" I was like, I just went in my phone on Instagram, and I was like, "Look, man, messaged me chatting shit. Like, look, the beat's up. Everybody can, you lot can all have it if you want it. Like, show me. Let me see what you got." You get me? The beat is just so infectious. Like it was just cold. Shouts out Morpheus who made that one. That was cold. You get me? And it was just like, yeah, I just put it out there into the world, and then I just had to just sit back and just wait and see what happened. And it was just like people was doing it, like no name people was doing it and stuff like that. And then I think the first artist that was credible was probably someone like Bonkers or something. I think Bonkers done it, and he fucked it up. I think maybe Giggs even reposted that on his page or something like that, like of him doing it and stuff like that, and bare people, and like he messed the beat up, like he touched it up. I was like, nah, this was cold. I reposted him, and then after he done it, I couldn't tell you what order it went into, but it's like that probably gave it a bit of credibility. You know what I'm trying to say? Because he's known and he's good, and then they just started flooding in.
How did that feel though? Like, because obviously you had been gone, you went through a phase of making music, maybe not connecting with as much people as you wanted it to, and then now this thing has not only kind of, maybe not like you said in the grand scheme of things, maybe there was a bigger market at that time, but for you it was the biggest thing, and now other artists are also paying their respects to it. So did you like take that in, or was it just something that you just kept going along with it?
No, at the time it was mad. At the time I was conflicted as well, because I was upset. You get me? Because like I said, my like I wouldn't even have been there if it weren't for Cheds, and Cheds died in November. That was in January. So when everything's popping off, I just feel bad, like, because he's not even here to see all of it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, this is what we wanted to do, and you're not even here now to do it. So I'm just upset, really and truly. Like, obviously, like people don't know, because obviously I've got nothing to be upset about. I've got to be happy. Like, my thing's popping off. I've got to repost. I've got to do what I'm doing and just try and capitalize on it. But at the time, like, I was just like pissed. But then at the same time, I was ecstatic, because it's like the reach of it was just mad. You get me? Like, and people that I look up to was doing, like, American rappers like Graph, old school rappers like Graph was cold. Graph done it, sent it to me, shot a video for it, says my name in the song and all that. Like, he's touching it up. Like, Murder Moot came over to London. He was doing like a podcast or something for someone else that he knows, my brethren. And then my brother, he was talking about it because it was popping off at the time. He was saying, yeah, what's this pen game challenge thing? He wants to do one. He's like, yeah, he's going to do it. And my brother told me, and I went and met them. I was there chilling with Murder Mook and that. And then like he done one. You get me? Like, he's done one, and I'm saying like this stuff is mad. And then just bare little artists that I look up to, and like all of them across the board. It weren't even just the rappers, it was the little drill rappers, like man from north, south, east, west, and then you start going out of the country. But like it got bigger. It got to the point where there's people doing the challenge who don't even know where it originates from. They don't even know what they're doing. Like man in Africa and stuff like that, like just doing it and not even understanding that it's my song or whatever it is. It just got huge. You get me?
Do you think the song became bigger than you?
Oh yeah, definitely. The beat became bigger than me, because like I said, there's people who are doing it who don't know me. Who like they just heard this beat, they're just doing it.
Did that make you feel a type of way? Like, oh, you guys don't even know who really brought this song to surface?
No, because once it by that point, like I said, it was just so huge. Like beforehand, it was I couldn't be mad. Like it is what it is. It was always gonna get like that. Remember, but when it started off originally, like everybody was just before they start spitting it, like yo, pen game challenge, shouts out to Margs, big up Margs. That's what everybody's saying, innit? So every video is saying that. You get what I'm trying to say? So there's bare videos like, yeah man, big up Margs. So once it got so big to where that side of it got lost, I couldn't be mad, because I already had the moments and stuff like that. And like in that generation, in the internet generation, that's my first time experiencing like going viral and stuff like that. I ain't never done nothing like that before. but ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the experience was dope, but I can't really be mad at it. I take the rough with the smooth with me. I try my best not to beat myself up over the disappointments. You know what I'm trying to say? That because, like I said, if you do, then it's just gonna defeat you. Like, so it just is what it is. I'm cool. I just learned to take everything on the chin.
And then fast forward to the last year or so, would you say that the past year has been the biggest year of your public career?
I don't know, you know.
Because I know, like, for you...
That's a good question.
Yeah, like, for you, obviously, you're saying, okay, you know what, I haven't even got to where I want to be yet. But you went from a phase of creating music, maybe not being appreciated as much as you deserved, and then a tune going viral, and then fast forward to doing something that you didn't even think you would ever do, which is just being yourself on a podcast. And now it's like almost you can't avoid your face. You're seeing Margs everywhere, and no one has a problem with it. That's the funny thing.
Boy, if you got a problem with it, I ain't gonna stop. So that ain't stopping, boy. That's the plan.
Because you went through a phase of literally being everywhere. So listening party, 3 shots, no behaviour, obviously.
Yeah.
The list goes on. Half-cast,
Filthy Fellas.
Filthy Fellas is a big one.
Yeah.
So how did that make you feel that, okay, now I'm getting credit for something that I didn't even know I would necessarily be good at?
It's like this time around, I feel happier and I feel better about it because I got more control over the situation. Like back then with the music, there wasn't an industry to speak of. I didn't really know what I was doing. If I didn't stop and make certain decisions, not all of it, I should feel hard done by that. Some of the things are mistakes that I made, innit? For choices that I made within my career and stuff like that. But if I had the knowledge and knew what I had in my hands, I would have been more comfortable. If I knew not to worry about chasing deals and stuff like that, I could be independent and I can whatever and just grind it out. And, like just those kind of things that I know now, I would have been better off. With this like content stuff, I'm so confident about what I'm doing that I feel like my future's in my own hands, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so this time round, no one can't blackball me out of nothing, or no one can't miss no opportunities out of nothing. Like, I know what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm confident that, like I said, I just have to set myself targets and I'm gonna reach them. Whether they take 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, that I can reach these targets because I've got the tools at my disposal to reach them. So I know what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel more confident about this time. I feel more confident this time around within myself about that. I feel like I'm gonna get somewhere with what I'm doing.
Do you think that, because growing up you had a lot of pain, a lot of sadness around you, and you also said yourself you didn't really have many role models for showing you a possibility of something that you didn't know. I was having this conversation with Callum on the way here. Like, we were saying that the scene has almost come together in a way that it's never been done before. Like, you're getting so much support from other people as well. Not only respect, but they're actually pushing you in certain directions. Other podcasts are supporting one another, and there's just so much love. So do you think that's also played a big part in this year?
100%, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the other podcasts. If it wasn't for the 3 shots of tequila, if it wasn't for Poet, I wouldn't be doing my own podcast.
How did you stumble across podcasts? Was it 3 shots? Was that your first?
I feel like 3 shots was my first one that I done. Yeah, they called me up. I can't remember how. I knew of them kind of, if that makes sense. Like, you know, like what it's like. You're on the internet, innit? Like, you can build relationships with people online. So like Taser and Keith and that, I build relationships with them online. Like, I know that mainly Keith. Marvin, I know Marv through a friend of mine, through a close friend. You get me? So it's not like they're total strangers. You know what I'm trying to say? That they're them that I know, and then for whatever reason, I don't know whether it be me saying stuff online, posting stuff, I don't know, but for whatever reason, they told me come down to the show. You get me? So I've gone down to a 3 shot show, and just the response of me going on the show, like the comments, they got a big following, they like a hashtag that they use and stuff like that, and the response was just dope. Like, nothing but positivity. You get me? Like, oh no, Margs, he was good, he's funny, whatnot. So I done that. And then time passed and they called me back up again, it's the same thing. And they called me back up again and it's the same kind of thing. And then
which meant you were good at it.
Yeah, and then Poet called me up on Half-Cast, and he gave me funny little guest slots on Filthy Fellas throughout the time, and the general consensus is usually always the same kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it got to the point where their fans base of what they was doing was hitting me up saying like, yo, you should do your own thing. You get me? So I was like, all right, cool, maybe they're right. But then I just had to learn. So I just went on a few more shows. 3 Shots Tequila went on the tour. I followed them on tour. And just watching and just learning and just trying to understand
a new craft
of what I'm getting myself into, because I don't like to do things that I don't know. I like to be confident, because if I know what I'm doing, my confidence is through the roof. You could tell when I'm not. If I don't know what I'm doing, if I'm blagging it, you'll be able to tell. You know what I'm trying to say? Because when I'm sure, my thing's different. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just followed them around and just took whatever opportunities that they was going to give me and just doing it, and then just waiting. And obviously I just had to just decide what I was going to do for myself. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and once I decided to go with Loons and can't remember the name and stuff like that, and then we just moved from there. But it was literally, I wouldn't be here without them, man. So you're right, like the love in the industry is dope. Remember, we all support each other. We all work for each other. It's not even just them. Like, even like me seeing Tricky do it, because Tricky branched off and doing that before I did. Tricky's kind of in the exact same position as me as a rapper, and he's done for the culture with him and Lippy, and the success that they're having. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's dope. So even me seeing him do that, and then him coming and us doing the listening party, and it makes it easier for me doing it with Tricky and stuff like that. Because you can ask him before, and I was like, bro, I don't know about this, you know. Like, I'm nervous. Like, I'm recording. Like, before I start the streets, I'm like, what are these people gonna say? You know what I'm saying?
About the
like,
listening party.
Yeah.
Thinking these guys are gonna think
they're gonna cuss me, man. That's what I was thinking, man. They're gonna cuss me, man. The fans, the people, just like, who are you to be talking about us? Like, what makes you think you can do that? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, because I haven't talking about man that's done maybe not done more than me, like on a legacy thing or whatever, but like sales and artistry and stuff like that. These men have reached heights in their careers that I ain't never reached. You know what I'm saying?
But partly because you paved that way for them.
Well, someone's got to shovel the shit in it.
You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like you went through so much in your younger years, and I think people fail to realize, and one of the reasons why I wanted you on the show is because I think the street representation, it's like people don't understand it almost. The people that are going through it, they appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I think there's so many things that you learn growing up that you have to unlearn as you become an adult.
Yeah.
And then you have to almost learn from scratch about the actual ways to do certain things.
Yep.
And I feel like you're just getting into that pocket now where you've gone through so much hardship, you've gone through learning, a little bit of success, a little bit of failure, and now you've come to a place where you're comfortable in your own skin, you're comfortable with what you're doing, and the future's bright.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's literally how I feel. I'm comfortable in my own skin, I'm happy, and I do feel like the future's bright. Like, every so often I do have, like, because you're only human, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so sometimes you do, maybe not so much no more, because I'm in my bag and I'm in my stride, you know what I'm trying to say? But even like initially, it's just like, this should I be doing this? Like, it feels like I didn't do what I wanted to do with music, and now I'm trying to cheat and find a way out and stuff like that. Like, those kind of, like those kind of thoughts that you have with yourself, like you didn't make it, and this is what you're doing, kind of thing. Like, you're not supposed to be doing this. But then, like I said,
but sometimes those are the most beautiful things because you never intended for it to happen. It just organically happened.
Yeah.
And I think those things sometimes actually accelerate you to a place where you had no plan. Like, you literally could not have planned that, and it's worked out so much better. Yeah,
so then the doors start opening and you just walk through them. You give me opportunities and I'm just going to take them, because I'm just that way inclined, in it. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't believe in luck. It's what they say, like preparation, and you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I've been preparing for these moments for my whole life, through my downfalls and through the success and whatever it may be. Like, everything that's built me up to where I am. Like, I'm prepared. So when I get opportunities, I'm going to take them. Always going to take them. You know what I'm trying to say? Even with the content stuff, get opportunities to work with different brands and do different things and go on different shows and stuff. Like, I'm always going to take them. I'm going to knock them out the park.
Coming on Recipe to Success.
Coming on Recipe to Success. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm going to come with them. I'm going to knock them out the park. And that's just what I'm going to do.
It's your work ethic.
Yeah, that's just my mindset. That's just what I'm going to do. Like, you give me these things, so whatever the next opportunity that I get, that's going to be the biggest opportunity I've ever got in my life. I'm going to take it. I'm going to knock it out of the park. You know what I'm trying to say?
So you know, like, there's a lot of people now, they're going through a negative time.
Yeah.
They're going through lockdown, they're going through hardship, maybe even just some of the things that you went through growing up.
Yeah.
What would you say for anyone that's trying to really break through? They're watching your content, you're their positivity. What would you say? They look up to you. What's your advice to just get through this period?
Life, man, it's not a sprint, man. It's a marathon. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and like with anything, you got to be able to take the rough with the smooth. Like, you have to be able to do it, and you just got to understand this, that people say everything happens for a reason. Like, I don't know whether you want to subscribe to that, whether you believe in that, yeah, but it's like, just say like your life's a book, innit? Do you know what I'm trying to say? And you're the one that's writing it. You're going through these chapters. So them last, it could have been 5 chapters, 6, 10 chapters. Them last ones, they could be terrible. They could be shit. But you have to understand, like, that's not your story. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not finished. Like, and you have to make it through and come out on the other side of it for you to finish your story, for you to experience the good stuff. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, 'cause if you just stay down in the dumps and just accept what's happened here, it's just going to stay there and it's not going to be nothing else. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you have to find the strength to keep going. You get what I'm trying to say? And know what you want. And sometimes it can take years. There's no time limit on getting yourself together. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, 'cause some people might feel like, boy, I've been down in the dumps for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, but God willing, you're going to be here for 70, 80, 90 years. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just the first part of your story. It's just the first half. You have to keep going, and you got to be able to just dig deep and just grind it out. And like, it's good, like, things will get better. Even if they get worse first, things will get better. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you see it out and if you play it out. But at the same time, like, you have to put yourself in a position to take advantage of any opportunities that you do get. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, a lot of people sit down moaning and that, and you miss your blessings and you moan about what you haven't got and not realise what you do have. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and focus on the things that you do have and focus on the things that you can control, and you worry about things that are out of your control. And a lot of people do that all the time. Like, I done that. I do that in music. If let's say I'm moaning about my 100,000 followers instead of 1 million, do you know what I'm trying to say? And then it's like, all right, cool. So am I going to spend time moaning about these 900,000 that ain't fucking with me, or am I going to cater to the 100,000 that are fucking with me? Like, 100,000 of anything is amazing. This is amazing. You give me 100,000 cashew nuts, I can make something work with that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like 100,000 of anything is cold, but if you're going to compare it to other people who are doing different things, then you might not feel like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That's
like,
why you just embrace your own journey.
You have to embrace your own journey. You have to embrace your own journey. You have to embrace the good and the bad, and you have to keep going in the negatives as well. Like, that's probably the hardest thing. You have to understand and to believe that things are going to get better. If you got something that you're doing and you believe in it, you can't let no one knock you off your path. But you know what I'm trying to say? And that's just what it is. Because for me personally, I got to a point, even before I started doing this, I've always known that I was on doing stuff like this. I never knew I was going to do it, but I like the entertainment aspects of things. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so being a rapper's cool, but then you make me popular and you put me in the social scene, and you, like, I've enjoyed that aspect of it as well. You know what I'm trying to say? And I've always known, like, I'm going to do something. Like, I've patterned up, I tried to do things with A Squeezy and me and Spades and all that. He made that movie, The Trap, years ago. And he asked me if I wanted to be in it. I was like, yeah. I'm not an actor. I can't act, but we're going to make something. We think, yeah, I'm here for all that. This whole, everything, I'm on it. I need all of that. I'm going to be in front of you on your TV some way, shape or form. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you're going to sit at home and watch me. Like, that's what I kind of understood. You know what I'm trying to say? So it was easier for me to make this transition because I'm still cool, if that makes sense. I see a lot of rappers from my generation. There's not a lot of rappers from my generation. There's not a lot of them that made it.
That stayed relevant.
Yeah, that stayed relevant and that made it. There's not a lot of them. And for me to reinvent myself ain't no mean feat. Like, it's like I'm proud of what I've managed to do. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't want to talk like it's done, because I don't feel like I've finished. I don't feel like I've finished, and I don't feel like I've done anything yet.
So what's next? Because obviously we're leaving on a positive note. Like, the year's going really well for you so far. So what else can we expect? And this is where you also plug.
Well, I just think it's just growing from strength to strength. I got No Behaviour podcast there. That's my baby. You know, I'm trying to say that. We've got a few things. If you tune into No Behaviour, you'll see in the next couple of weeks we've got things that we're going to do to grow the platform and grow the experience for the viewer and stuff like that. And when they get outside of lockdown and stuff, also we're going to be bringing the live experience to people all over the country, wherever they may want it.
The live Rottweiler experience.
The live Rottweiler experience. You get me? Big up Loons each and every time. So that's like my baby in what I'm main focused on. I've also got my pen game rap battles that I've started doing. I've got season 1 done, and I'm getting ready to do season 2 and season 3. So giving young artists opportunities to to be seen and to be heard is what I'm quite big on, because of how I feel like my career went. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm doing the rap battles. It's not necessarily for battle rappers. I'm not just saying because I like battle rap and I want it to come and battle. That is what the gist of the show is. Cool, but the main thing behind it is for me to be able to give them opportunities,
which you didn't have.
Yeah. So put you on a platform that people might actually be watching and take in. And they might listen to you go through the battles and then think, oh, this guy's good, I like him, and then go and listen to your music, and then you've got a fan there. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so I've been doing that. I've been producing the shows. I produced the first one. You can go and watch that on YouTube as well. It's pretty good.
Listening party, Filthy Fellas.
Got a listening party. I'm full-time filthy now. That's just me talking about football. That's just sports and stuff, and I love sports, so I'll do that. I'm passionate about arguing and debating and stuff like that, and I love my team, Man United.
Yeah, this was a bit more of a chilled Margs that we saw.
Yeah.
A different kind of Margs.
We just get me. You can just chip away.
Do you think we'll ever see Margs return to music?
Yeah.
Coming soon, exclusive.
Nah.
Not anytime soon.
Not coming soon. Nah.
But you're working on something.
Nah.
Or you're open to it.
Yeah, that's what it is. I haven't wrote music in months. I don't have any intentions of releasing anything. Definitely not. Well, the year's nearly done now anyway, so maybe next year in the summertime or something like that. Or just, I'm not, like I said, Loons always makes jokes, calls me the retired rapper. I haven't retired. You get me? I've just, like you said, I'm everywhere. I've got my hands in a lot of pies at the moment. I'm doing a lot of things for me to, and if anything I do, I like to give my all and do it properly.
This is your living stage for the next chapter of your rap.
There you go. So it's like for me to focus on making music as well, as well as everything else that I'm trying to do.
It's a lot.
They're not gonna work.
But if you want to see Margs return to music, make sure you like on YouTube.
They're on me. Everybody pressures me all the time, pressure me, and it's like, it's weird because even like with the podcast growing and me doing all the other content and getting out there and being in people's faces, it winds a lot of people up. It's like, yeah, we enjoy that, but it's like, no, I want you to rap.
Yeah, I get what I get.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see you rapping. Like, yeah, like, I want to see you as good. I want to hear some music and stuff like that. And then it's just like, sometimes I think, where is this energy when I was doing it? Like, I
think, now you've reinvented yourself almost. Like, it's you being yourself, but at the same time, you've reached a whole new audience. So I think it might go well this time, like even better than it ever has. I think so.
But
I'll be excited to see it.
But it's definitely not off the cards. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not off the cards.
Margs, thank you so much for coming on. It was really nice to hear a whole different side of you and your journey. If you do want to support Margs, where can they follow you? What's the best place for them to follow you on?
Follow me on Twitter or Instagram. That's Margs MT, Margs MT. That's where I'm at. Twitter, I'll just be giving wild opinions. Instagram, I'll just be looking pretty and shit. Yeah, man, that's where I'm at, man. No Behaviour. Follow No Behaviour podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. That's where you can get a weekly dosage of me every week. Raw, uncut, unfiltered, just kicking it. General casual conversation, social commentary, that kind of thing. And where else am I? Yeah, man, I'm anywhere, man. If you want to hear me talk sports, link me on Filthy Fellas. Subscribe to the channel as well. I've been doing the music critique thing. I've got a few things up my sleeve, few things in the pipeline that I'm going to be doing with that, which will be cool.
So a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, man. I'm just working, man. All I can do is try. You get me? That's all I can do. So all you can do is try, man. Don't stop, man. Don't give up, man.
100%. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a slightly different episode, but something really, really special. I'm sure you can tell by now. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, make sure you follow. See you guys soon.